Welcome back to Evil Scuba Diver. I don't got the evil sunglasses on. You guys probably didn't even know I was doing that anyway. Left him at the dorm. No big whoop. No big stop crying. You're not tripping with the title. We're reacting to young men on YouTube and seeing what they say. I've accumulated a couple of liked videos. Most of them I have not watched. Just people with like less than 1,000 views, and I want to sort of go through them and see what's going on here. Let's start out with Zachary Dean.
Here we are now.
First off, good looking dude. Like the hair, beard's coming in nice. I'm trying to picture him without the beard and the mustache. I can definitely picture this dude in high school. 75 subscribers, 46 views. This is ripe territory. Yeah, man, Zachary Dean, let's hear what you got.
I read 2 books. First one, Go Soldiers. Incredible book. Give it a read. I'm not going to talk about it. Other book,
okay.
Psychology of Money. That's where we're at anyways.
You're reading a war book and a book called Psychology of Money. This dude's locked in.
Like I said, I'm doing this to keep me accountable. If you haven't seen my first video,
he's doing it to keep himself accountable. I can really appreciate that.
My name's Zach. I'm 22 from San Diego, California, and I don't know what I'm going to do with my life. I'm just keeping myself accountable via these video journals, and whether anyone watches or not, that's beyond me, but I do appreciate anyone that does. I'm trying to improve myself every week, every day, really, just 1% better every week. And by the end of the year, I'll be way better off. So this is a little bit about me. I've been working as a ranch hand - wrangler for the last while now.
Very cool.
I just got back from Montana.
Automatically, very cool backstory here from Zachary Dean. I can relate to this guy. Doesn't really know what life is gonna throw at him. I'm 19 years old. He's older than me, but you know, I can sort of see a bit of myself in this guy already. I'm Evil Scuba Diver is just me throwing something at the wall to sort of bring me some sort of dopamine fulfillment, some sort of creative fulfillment. Real spill, it's been sort of like a rough couple months for your guy here, and I'm trying my best to sort of find my way through it with my own channel. So and hold myself, I don't know if I'm doing this to hold myself accountable, but I'm definitely doing it to give myself a creative outlet that my brain desperately needs in these trying times. Let's get a riff for that. Needless to say, I'm here.
Put that on. Get you a statement. If anyone sees these, no one will like me. They were just so absolute cringe. It's hard enough to daily vlog when you're not interesting when you're little. But it's twice as hard if you don't have your own vehicle. So I'm looking back at these videos, I'm like, these are the worst things I've ever produced. But I needed to do those videos when I was younger to, 1, learn how to edit now at this age, but 2, be more comfortable in front of a camera. I
can feel that too. I released a lot of old music when I was 15, 16, 17 that I look back at now and I sort of cringe at, and I don't really like it at all. I still keep them up in my discography. I could take them down. It'd probably be beneficial to take them down, right? I'm not going to do that because it's part of the story, right? I needed those to be able to grow. Now let's get in the most important part where we rank these people. Ordered a fresh collection of these Japanese pens off the internet. I believe this says Ticonderoga. They will be the vessel and conduit for my ranking system on these talented young men here. Zach, I've written down he's solo, he's driven, he wants to be a better person, and he reads. So some very compelling attributes to Zachary Dean. We'll see how he fares against the other contenders here. Next up, we got Profound Pondering. This is 7.5k views a day ago. He's got about 500k subscribers, so this dude is already pretty notoriable. He's not going to be sort of a hidden gem like the other people on this list, but I skimmed through this video. I thought it was important.
You are you for a reason. I think it's important to embrace your you-ness, your uniqueness, because it is all that you are. I think authenticity is one of the easiest ways to get into anything creative, or to get into, I guess, a life of relative peace.
Yes.
Because once you stop making your world about the clashing of every other world and just allow yourself to be without comparison, then it's no longer a race, it's no longer a battle, it's no longer this is that and the other, and it starts just being about being. I think that's one thing I have to stress myself to do.
You write this down.
Make more intentional is implementing more habits that lead to a positive mental headspace that allow me to get onto this world and continue to be present.
Presence is pretty key. This last couple months, I don't think I've been the most present, and I wanted to be. Simply the rat race of university is it's a very detrimental energy to the one I try to carry. I'm an ambitious person who doesn't really get a lot of chances to strive and really show his wings. So to be in that position, that sort of put me in a giant obstacle course pretty much, of just a stagnant, really kind of rat race just to be in the green.
it's only difficult because I think that it's going to be hard for me, and I think it's important to give yourself enough validity to understand that it's going to be what it is. Whether or not you connotate it as hard or easy or this or that is just contributing to early suffering. Go out here and experience it for yourself.
Some key points I wrote down so far. Stay present, stay authentic, validate yourself. You're here for a reason. Don't succumb to the rat race of trying to be the same person as everybody else, which is what society, university is eventually giving all of us right now. Find ways to make this detrimental energy of Earth right now and the constructs that humanity has sort of set up for us to exist in. Find a way to exist back. Don't drown in the busy work. Keep your head up. Keep your chin high. Find a way to exist back. That's what I'm taking out of this. I'm loving this.
I feel like we wait for gratitude and we wait to be thankful for ourselves just because we haven't attained something or we haven't gained something we feel like makes us valuable. But at the end of the day, we're the ones who give that certain something value.
Profound pondering. This is beautiful. I wrote for him, stay present, stay authentic, keep your mindset pure, validate yourself, and most importantly, do your best. If you're doing your best, you can't tell yourself you didn't do your best. We'll see where he ranks up. This one I have not seen. This is Avalon Alisi, 2.6K views 2 days ago. First off the top, I'm going to send a quick prayer for you. Dear Lord, please help my friend, Avalon Alisi.
Greetings, fellow humans.
He's just... What a start already.
I'm gonna read a poem here.
Okay.
I'm fairly drunk right now. Should probably mention that.
I can tell. It's alright.
It's kind of a rough night, honestly.
Doesn't sound like a rough night. It sounds like a good night.
Hence the drinking and the smoking.
Alright, fair enough.
You know?
There are ways to escape. I understand now.
Like I said, it's a poetic, therapeutic expression.
Maybe I can play along.
I've found that my general state of being is that I don't want to live anymore. But I'm too stubborn to just die. I used to want to be a star, an artist, a musician, writer. Now I just feel like all I can do is sit back and smoke while watching the pressure cooker of American civilization build more and more tension.
I don't want to romanticize your situation, but you remind me of Rorschach from Watchmen, the noir observer who sees the world crumble around him and can't help but want to spark a change.
I used to have drive, ambition, goals. And now my only goal is simply to work. I work at a restaurant, a buffet, one that throws away hundreds of pounds of food every single day, and yet at least twice every week. This is true. As commotion at work settles and I have time to stare out the window like it's a giant phone screen that scrolls itself, I watch a homeless man. Local to the area. I see him quite a lot on my walk to work. Just digging in the trash, looking for a cold, half-eaten meal 5 fucking feet away from a warm restaurant where I stare from within.
I've written down so far, he had drive and ambition, now is in the rat race. Turned observer. This strikes me as a man who society kind of failed. This is real life, man. This is not a tragic little non-fiction story. This is real. This is a real person.
But I am trying.
This is pretty nihilistic, man.
And yet I smile.
Damn. That speaks to me just like a hint of appreciation for the experience at the end. That humans are just remarkable creatures. Even in the worst situations, they can find a way to give it meaning to them in some sort of way. He's laughing at the absurdity of his situation, but he is laughing. Avalon, thank you for that, man. Let's move on. We have podcast 1, 678 views, 12 subscribers from the Poly Tua podcast. Let's see, we got 3 young men here. Let's see what unique point of views these three young men conjure up for us today.
First topic we're going to talk about is the transparency with the government. And what is your opinion on the transparency with our government in today's world?
In today's society, like our education isn't too high, so they use like high words that people can't really understand, so it makes like a barrier in between us.
All right, boys, I have a question. What are your all opinions on president only getting 2 terms?
I do like the term limits. I feel like the 2 terms is good for majority of things. I feel like getting different people into the politician world with like our governments and stuff is
Rotation.
good because different views, different eyes, and just different ideas.
Fresh ears,
say
fresh
one person's
eyes,
idea
fresh.
could
Yep.
be the next person's like greatest, invention or something. Like they could add something into the government that could really change us for the better.
Absolutely. What's your thoughts on this situation?
Yeah, I think it's a lot more important. That's a good point about like senators and stuff. I think it's a lot more important there too.
100%. All right, the Paul to It podcast I wrote down, they are new young minds talking about politics. This is refreshing. Really got all the heavy topics in there. Term limits, Trumpism, double Socrates, and a Plato sort of conversation happening here. I think it's good. I think it's healthy. Podcast name needs to change though. Let's keep going. Let's check in with Aiden Leon. Now, first thing, 515 subscribers, 443 views 15 hours ago. This is fresh. This is ripe. This is young. This is raw. His profile picture is him doing a tricep, a little flex under some good lighting there in the mirrors. This dude works out, and you can definitely tell that he's got the Rode camera mic on. Is it far-fetched to say this guy knows who Bradley Martin is?
Fellas, good morning. Super excited to have you back. Thank you
morning.
guys so much for all the support.
Automatically well-spoken. I appreciate that.
Now that you have the target, just execute. Take action. There's a book called like Ready, Fire, Aim, and I've never read it. I don't really read that much. I probably should more. But the title's cool because...
You know what he just said there that was really important? A lot of you guys might not catch up on. He said, I don't read a lot, but I probably should. That reads to me as a person who is very self-aware about his vices and his flaws, but is also, working to improve them. He says to himself, after he admits he doesn't read, he probably should work on that. I don't know if anybody picked up on that except for me in the way that I did. I think that's a very tangible mark as somebody who has character, somebody who wants to improve themselves. Written down so far, we got well-spoken, respects himself, obviously, because he works out. If you work out, you do respect yourself enough as a vessel to actually discipline yourself, right? He values clarity and execution. A true blooming, blossoming young man here. Somebody I can look up to as a 19-year-old myself who's in the gym and trying to be the best version of himself. So appreciate you, Aiden, for giving us a little bit of clarity here. Let's move on with our videos. Okay, now we have Justin Shears, everybody. This is one day ago. Hashtag consciousness, hashtag awakening, hashtag masculinity. That's exactly what I like to hear, to be perfectly honest with you guys. This kind of looks like AI so far. It's fine. Comments are completely 100% positive. He's, fist bump and a prayer emoji. He got a double emoji on that one. Dude, hell yeah. Hopefully I can get a double emoji. 206 views one day ago. Fresh, ripe. Your spiritual journey is a pursuit of personal power. Let's get straight into it.
Your spiritual journey
I just said that.
You are connected to a deeper and deeper truth, and you have a foundation that is not based in delusion or ego or falsity or grandiosity. And once you understand why you are here, this is when things can go to a whole new level.
33 seconds in the video, his dog is barking in the background, which means you're not feeding it, you're not taking care of it, you're not showing love, or you've locked it outside of your room and it feels disincluded. You're essentially taking a conscious animal hostage and not giving it attention, which is what conscious animals need. Yeah, let's go.
Because of that vision of yourself, or an understanding of this is the direction you are going, of the things that are no longer serving you.
Jared Leto,
The things
Russell
that are no
Brand
longer
combo
serving you,
here.
And you are now creating your own myth and your own story, that everything that has happened before this moment has played a part, but you're rewriting it from now.
100%. I don't know if a lot of you guys know this. I was at 16 years old. I was 330 pounds. That's not a very good story at the time, but I think I've turned it around. I've made a little story for myself, right? Somebody who's lost the weight, kept it off for a year and a half now, is in the gym consistently trying to build a frame on top of the loose skin, or under the loose skin, I should say. So, I mean, that's the story I'm going with. I can kind of relate to what he's saying here. Don't make a bad situation a bad situation. You're given the gift of time. You should appreciate it, because time is basically an infinite second chance. In every second, you have another second chance to make a new version of yourself, if you so choose to.
Because as you take on more power, there's more responsibility.
Sort of like a Spider-Man thing going on here. I can really fuck with that. Justin Shears, I got you down right now as you value getting good habits to match the energy that you want to increase within yourself. You value mental clarity. You're telling others to trust themselves, which is very good. Have confidence in your abilities as a person. Don't be anxious about yourself. That's the worst thing you can be. You need to be authentically confident in who you are as a person, as a unique one of one. Take challenge as motivation. That's probably the most important thing I've heard from this so far. You get to take challenge as motivation there. All right. Thank you, Justin Shears. Let's go on this guy. All right, 173 views 2 days ago. Francis, 124 subscribers. An explanation of AI from an unemployed 23-year-old. This is ripe. This is very ripe. We got 2 comments. He has a guitar in the background. I see he's got some hats. He's a hat wearer. I could appreciate that.
Few more thoughts I've got for everybody.
Oh, hey, British. Next video, we got a very ripe one here. 49 subscribers by Mosey here. 201 views 3 days ago. Very ripe indeed.
Now, for me, I would describe the teenage experience.
Can I say right off the bat, if you're making a YouTube video about your experience and it's 18, 19 minutes long, it's probably lonely.
I also got into the wrong friend groups. I really did. I genuinely wish I hung out with the nerd, but instead I wanted to hang out with the cool guys, the sick guys who vandalize property and shoplift stores.
That is pretty
That
cool.
was the kind of people I hung out with.
Yep.
Some advice I would give you is don't hold everything in, like all the things that bother you. If somebody says something to you, don't just take it.
I just wrote this down. Don't be passive. That's what Mosey here is sort of give his first piece of advice to everybody watching this is don't be passive. Be somebody who, is opinionated. Be somebody who, if you're rubbed the wrong way, tell somebody that they rubbed you the wrong way. Don't be afraid to exist a little bit. Don't be afraid to correct somebody or micro adjust somebody. The uncomfortableness of the confrontation of the moment is nothing compared to the hole it will eat at you as a person who just stays passive their whole life. Don't be passive. Don't necessarily be aggressive, but it's okay to be aggressive if you want to be. You're alive for a reason. You exist. You should be able to proclaim that.
But yeah.
This dude's funny.
I'm corny. I don't know.
You're not corny, dude. Let me say something real quick to everybody out there who thinks they're corny. Corniness is the mark of authenticity. If you're corny, that simply means you have high ambition of yourself and you're delusional in who you are, which is a good thing. It means you know exactly who you are. Just other people don't understand it because you haven't lived enough to execute it the full way you intend to. You're just living in the enchantment of your mindset and you're not exactly executing to other people what you see in yourself. So other people take you as corny when really you're just incredibly authentic and people just haven't caught on yet because you're not old enough to really show them what a fully grown, authentic version of you looks like. A lot of people, when they get called corny, they try and change their whole personality to be chilled out. I'm just a chill guy. I'm just very zen. And then when it hits 19 years old to 25, they realize they don't have a personality. That's not good. If you're corny, that means you've won early. You know who you are. And have an endless amount of F's to give if someone calls you corny, man. Like, seriously. Really, I really appreciate you laying your thoughts out like this for almost 19 minutes, giving us sort of your take on the teenage experience. Your experience is 101, and you shared it with us for 19 minutes. So I do appreciate that. We'll see how far you go in these rankings when we finish this little thing here. Next video, You're One Decision Away from a Whole New Life by Caleb Park. 193 subscribers. This is a 3-minute video. This is a shorty but a quickie. That the same thing, sorry.
Whether you realize it or not, you are one decision away from a completely different life. Now, when you saw the title, you likely thought of something in your own life. Like, for example, my friends have always been saying that they want to be a streamer, they want to be a YouTuber, or they want to be like an entrepreneur or something like that. Or you want to become a streamer, where are the streams? You want to become a YouTuber, where are the videos? You want to become an entrepreneur, what are your business ideas? Every single time, there's nothing. They have no answer to those questions. About 3 years ago, I made the decision to get in the gym. That was the one decision that changed my life for the next 3 years that has brought me to here today. I lost 70 pounds, I gained a lot of muscle, I look completely different. That one decision pounds I gained in my life for the next 3 years that has brought me to here today. I lost 70 pounds. I gained a lot of muscle. I look completely different.
Is this dude an archetype of me? I'm locked in now. I'm locked in. Sorry for playing guitar.
Look changed how people view me, changed how I view myself. That was one decision that changed my life. If you ask any successful person, or even like most CEOs or something, they'll say that all their success was built off just a few right decisions.
Yep, Mark Cuban mentality. Absolutely. Let me get a different frame here. You got a little bit of spit. I can relate to this on a personal level. Yeah, that one decision to sort of just like put myself in the gym and do 700 calories of cardio a day, shit like that. I mean, that's kind of why I look how I do now, and not like a blob of 330 pounds with no self-respect from myself or anybody else. All right, Caleb, I have you down for lost weight, values choice, values agency, and visualized respect change firsthand. What do I mean by that last point? You visualize respect change firsthand. Losing weight, man. Everybody respects you more, and you respect yourself more. That's seeing respect change firsthand. That's upgrading your status firsthand by doing something very hard. I think it's valuable. It's a valuable lesson. It's the reason I think I'm allowed to carry myself the way I do, is because I know that I can do hard shit now. If you out there are struggling with agency or not knowing who you are, who knows? Maybe you have a vice or something. Beat it. Go on the journey and beat it and try and kill it. Slay the dragon, quite simply. It gives you an immense sense of confidence in yourself you wouldn't even really truly believe was possible. It's like it's proclaiming to the world that you exist. Simply, I've said that a lot this video, but that's what it is. Doing an action that's incredibly hard that you didn't think you could do, but you pull it off. You've proclaimed to the world that you're tangible and that you exist. It's something to get emotional over, legitimately. So I don't want to say I apologize for getting emotional. Nobody should apologize for getting emotional, but I'm just telling you guys, that's something I can get emotional about. People really taking their lives in their own hands and like beating the dragon, like the thing that like completely just owns their life, and they beat it and they kill it and they come out a better person. I mean, I've had experience with that. I know what that feels like. Yeah, that just makes me I'm very happy. I want to see your other videos, and maybe when you were overweight, I want to see how much. I mean, you said you lost 70 pounds, right? Go do something hard. That's what holy shit, we're on the same wavelength, same archetype of person here. I appreciate you, Caleb Park. Thank you for adding to my video. Next up, we got Fanny Pack, 132 views 3 days ago. Not drinking today. Let's write you down.
Hello, friends on YouTube. Fanny Pack here. It is Sunday, December 8th, and guess what?
What?
I bet you can't guess.
I don't know.
I'm going to tell you. I'm not drinking alcohol today. Decided against it. Man, it is in my face every day. I do want to do it a lot. I really do want to drink a lot.
We're less than a minute into this video, and he's just given us his thesis statement of who he is as a character. He is somebody who understands he has a vice, but he also knows that it is a vice. He knows it's something that needs to be conquered. Valuable. Oh god, this is just awesome. I love this video so much. Not this video, but I love this whole array of characters we've seen. They're all sort of echoing the same sentiment.
Because I cannot stop. I can't stop drinking, y'all. I can't stop. I don't want to stop. I want to keep drinking until I am gone.
It's like it takes a true sort of heart-wrenching sort of analysis to just be that brutally honest with yourself. Like, I'm messed up to a degree that other people aren't, and I need to hold myself accountable with this vice now, and I'm documenting it.
I want to help more people. I just don't know how many people are interested in this sort of thing. I guess not many. I think the world enjoys alcohol. They're not addicts. And so they can quit when they want. I would really rather not drink. And this holds me accountable every day.
I have you written down for understanding vices, wants to beat the vices, wants to slay the dragon, so to speak. He wants to help people, and he's using these videos to help people and hold himself accountable. This is promising. Fanny pack 3 days ago. What's your most recent video? What's your most recent? Oh my god, he's still not drinking. An hour ago.
Hello, friends on YouTube. It is Wednesday, December 11th. And guess what?
You didn't drink today.
I am not drinking alcohol today.
Hell yeah. I'm subscribing to this dude. Hell yeah, I'm on your journey, dude. Right off the rip, 32 seconds in, Fanny Pack. I'm subscribed. I'm following your journey, man. Hold yourself accountable for me, man. Holy. Well, thank you for contributing to this video. Now, this next man we have is Doberman Honcho. Now, interesting fact about this guy, I subscribed to him around February of 2024, and I've been following his videos like this ever since, and they get like sub 10 views, sub 40 views. I've been following him since February. This is a video he's titled that I have not watched yet. He had this whole odyssey in his YouTube channel a while back where he would visit like Brazilian churches or Ethiopian churches or Ukrainian churches, and he would go to different churches to try and find a sense of community. And I thought that took agency. I thought that was really interesting. I thought it was interesting how he made a YouTube channel, started talking about it, and started documenting this odyssey of trying to find connection through these interesting churches. And he would talk about it, and I thought that was really interesting. I subscribed to him, and yeah, and now he's saying here, I could have got the boss I've been complaining about fired today, but didn't. Here's why. Let's see why he didn't get his boss fired. I know this dude has been in the janitorial and the security industry, so let's see what's going on with you today, man.
And on this channel, I've kind of complained about my boss quite a bit. I have 2 videos that I deleted and 2 that are still up. And the more recent one was him kind of scapegoating me for one of his mess ups. And someone actually commented Carmen will catch up to him. And I think it actually might have. It's kind of bittersweet because I don't actually want the guy to lose his job. I just want him to act better. Today, his boss approached me and pulled me into her office and was kind of wondering what happened. And apparently they lost money. They had to refund money to the client.
Yeah.
And I believe the people in the email complained about him by name, but I can't prove that. The piece of paper she was showing me that says it should have been set up here, which was putting it on me. But I have 2 pieces of paper that say the opposite, and it says set up this if you can, and it's going to be set up the next day on his shift. So it's 2-to-1 in my favor, and it was communicated that it was on him, it was on his shift. I'm the night guy, he's the day guy. And I really could have kind of stuck it to him and gave the pieces of paper to her and really kind of had like a home run, like a haha. I was right, he was wrong, and la-di-da, but I didn't do that. I didn't pull the trigger on him, and I've been here before, and I actually wrote a poem about this a long time ago.
Yo, venting in poems, Doberman, dude, this is awesome. This is classic Doberman, right?
I don't think he's a bad guy, and I think if I was in his shoes, I would be very similar. I'm kind of taking him at the benefit of the doubt that he would do the same if he was in my shoes. I don't know if that's the case, because I've seen some evidence of the contrary, that he would throw me under the bus, and he has before. The one thing that kept coming to my mind is Snitch and Judas, if I was to pull that off and do that. Because it would be like, what am I trying to accomplish here? One would be to take his job, and that reminded me of Judas. And 2 would be, if he's gone, it's like the devil you know type thing. Like, you don't know who they're going to put in there. It's like the war in Ukraine with Putin. If you get rid of Putin, they're going to put some fucking crazy ass mother.
Okay, what this is interesting to me is Doberman right now is thinking in archetypes, which is something I do a lot. If I make this decision, what archetype am I leaning into? Am I leaning into a good one? Am I leaning into a bad one? That's something I tend to think about a lot, which is kind of interesting.
Felt like I let it go because of me not having answers to these things, being merciful, and I understand the guy and I don't think he's evil. I think he's just exploiting a situation. I don't really care that much, but I do have the 2 pieces of paper in case they try to fire me over it. Then I can bring these 2 pieces of paper and say, well, see, I have evidence that this actually wasn't.
He didn't fire his boss, even though he could have, because he has empathy for him. I mean, he's probably not that bad of a guy. He's just a little bit conceited in his own worldview. so valuable. That's such a valuable piece of what an interesting way to create a beautiful character for yourself. You don't sabotage others because you have empathy for them, even if they do you wrong. And obviously he has the evidence to back himself up if stuff gets out of hand, but if stuff's not out of hand, don't make it out of hand. You know, people are people too. They have lives. He doesn't want to take his job away. Such a valuable mindset from Doberman here. Wow, I really appreciate that, man. Thank you, Doberman. You think in archetypes, you're compassionate, and you have empathy. I'm really gunning for you to win this ranking here. We have one more to go. Seth Hughes. Seth Hughes, you look like Max Mofo a little bit. Actually, a lot.
Hey guys, welcome back to my shed. Today I want to talk about more winter stuff. These people that we'd go, that's a bad person. He was doing what he thought was right, but what I am here to say is that the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And we are in this pendulum swinging between the poles of a stick. Take food, for example. The last few hundred years have been a predominantly meat-eating culture. And then as we see the problems and the pains of that mass animal farming industry, the reaction and the response to that is then an extreme vegan movement. And it's dogmatic at this end and it's dogmatic at this end.
Okay.
You could say that within kind of movements of masculinity and feminism.
Clearly he's trying to put some production value into his thoughts and ideas. He's editing this, he's putting ambient music, he's cutting the stick being sort of like something to convey his thoughts in an image. This dude's putting a lot of time and effort to translate his thoughts well, and I can appreciate that for sure.
And this to me is a really good story to encapsulate this idea that there's no universal truth. That truth is dependent on the circumstance, and that it's to come back to the middle of the road. And the young man in me, teenager in me, really wants to be extreme, wants to swing between polarities. I think I felt like that about my own masculinity. Growing up in a world where I feel like I should distrust my masculinity, and that masculinity is inherently bad, and that I should cover it up at all costs. That is an example of taking something that is sacred and taking something sacred and kind of perverting it. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for sharing. I'm really glad everybody showed us themselves. Alright, I've put together my list. I'm going to rank these men now. Let me turn the light on real quick. At 12, we have Justin Shears. Probably a nice person, probably a great person. Just to me, it didn't really read as something I could get anything out of. His main thing was trust yourself. I can appreciate that for sure, but I think there's a lot of other people in this video that just spoke to me more when it came to that message. 11, we have Francis. He's a nice guy, he's British, and the reason I put him higher is just because I think he's a more authentic personality that I can relate to more. I mean, he's probably more my age group. He's probably somebody I gotta hang out with and have like a drink with, etc. Or have some tea and crumpets with, sorry. Number 10, I have the Politua podcast, those three young gentlemen. Obviously, they're young guys who really aren't who haven't found their stride yet in confidence and completely being themselves. I think Shotgun Seat has the most of that. He was really sort of the leader of that group for a second. I admire the fact they made that channel. Just three guys coming together, talking about politics in a car. All the comments were sort of giving them shit for it. Dude, I think that's awesome. It's not corny. These are three people talking about politics on a podcast they made in a car, YouTube channel. They seem like they're just starting high school, probably sophomores, right? Yeah, I love to kind of see that. Even if it's not completely fully baked yet. I just love the fact that somebody went out there with their friends and decided to do that and post it, and they're probably sticking with it if they decide to go that route. At number 9, I have Zachary Dean, the first one we had. He's someone who wants to work on themselves. I think that's great. The reason I have him at number 9, just out of these solo people with these personalities, I just thought, I didn't really have an emotional feedback to what he said. I can respect him. He wants to get better. He wants to do these things. He's telling me about his ranching life. He's sort of going solo. He's a driven person. He's somebody who's reading and stuff. He seems like he's in a good space in life. He doesn't sort of need my fandom. He seems like a pretty well-adjusted person, pretty run-of-the-mill, basic guy who I can respect, but not anybody who's really touching an emotional core, making me feel fuzzy or making me really ponder about things. Just sort of somebody out there saying, hey, I exist, check out my channel, and I can appreciate that for his own reasons. He's at number 9. Thank you, Zachary Dean. At 8, we have Avalon Alisi. He was the drinker who had drive and ambition and is now in the rat race, who describes himself as a nihilist sort of observer, but smiling at the end of his video. That really got me. That's why he's up high. He's in a very sort of struggle, sort of tragic moment right now, and I think he's romanticizing his tragedy, which isn't something I necessarily like to see. I like people romanticizing their way out of a tragedy, you know, so I kind of feel for the guy. He reminds me of Rorschach from Watchmen. I said that, right? But I can also just respect the hell out of the fact that he is self-aware enough at the end of the video, the very last thing he says is, and still I'm smiling. And he laughs. He laughs at the struggle and absurdity of his own life. And while it's a tragic story and it's real life. This is a real person. This is not like sci-fi. This is non-fit. This is a real person who made this video and put it to the internet with his own real life experiences. This is not something to sort of just like laugh at or romanticize. But I think the fact that he himself sort of is able to understand his situation but still find a way to smile at it, even if it is sort of like gallows humor, chuckling. It put a very interesting stamp, period, on the video that I was not expecting. I thought it was going to be this sort of a struggle fest. Number 7, we have Aiden Leon. Values clarity, execution, and action, and he wants to read. I thought he was pretty figured out, man. It seems like he respects himself. He hits the gym, right? And now he's just spreading that information online. He's trying to help other people in the same sort of route. Pretty dope. I think it's awesome. It just doesn't really strike me as anything too interesting, anything that speaks to me as a person that's like, I want to see that. Terrific guy, just not somebody who exactly stuck with me compared to the other people that rank above him on this list. Number 6, we have Mosey. I wrote down, he said his teenage experience sucked, but only got better when he realized his flaws. He was a very introspective person, and his main takeaway was don't be passive. That's something I can really respect as somebody who's analyzed flaws within myself and had to make a drastic change. Also, the fact that these are real videos with real authenticity, no scripts, the fact that his first piece of advice to people is don't be passive, that's huge. That shows who he is as a character. He's somebody who values agency, values people not to hold themselves back on being a person. What is that bubble for? I didn't put that there. That just came up. I don't know what that is. I just appreciate him. He's an introspective young buck who told everybody not to be passive. He told everybody to lead themselves with their chest out. If something bothers you, say something. Exist. Don't be afraid to take up space, basically. Number 5, Caleb Park. This is the man who told us in 3 minutes that one change in our life can lead us onto a path of beauty. Simply, I see myself in this kid. That's simply why he's at number 5. As a 19-year-old, I can look at him and just be like, yeah, that's sort of who I was. I liked his short and concise video. I liked his energy, and he values choices. Making choices is what you're here for. Your God-given intuition was given to you to, scope out your things around you and make decisions and make choices and survive and adapt and become the best person you can possibly be as a soul. I'm putting him at number 5. Number 4, we have Fanny Pack, the man who is beating his alcoholism one accountability video at a time. Truly inspiring, just barely scratching sort of the top 3. It was sort of a contentious little position right there. I was considering putting him top 3, but I think top 4 fits, and he's using his videos to hold accountability. And we looked at his other videos too. He's been doing these. He's on the streak. He's successfully doing it. Also, his name is very funny. Fanny Pack is very cool. I can just appreciate somebody who knows what their vices are and wants to actively beat them. He told us 30 seconds into that one video that he's addicted to alcohol and it just makes his life worse and he needs to change, and he's doing it, and he's making videos to hold himself accountable to beat this dragon. And yeah, it just spoke to me, gave me that feeling of just passion, just like pure authenticity raining off of this guy. I'm rooting for him. I want to see him succeed. I subscribe to him. I'm going to be watching his journey from now on, right? Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Fanny Pack at number 4. And number 3, we have Seth Hughes. That was the last one we just reviewed. Very introspective and very brutally honest, understands his place in the world, and also gave his videos some ambient music, did some cuts, did some stuff like that. Really made it sort of an experience to sit through and listen to his thoughts. And he came out with some very interesting concepts, and he's very, very personal, very introspective, talking about his issues with how he thought about masculinity and his where he went wrong in his own path. That's the mark of somebody truly wise in himself, because once you you analyze your flaws and act on them, they're not exactly flaws anymore, they're challenges for you to beat. And I think he understands that. He struck me as a personality who gave me a coziness and comfort in the fact that he is secure with himself, and he was willing to get that emotionally vulnerable within a 20-minute random video to his YouTube channel that anybody could see. That just struck me in a way that was above the others, quite frankly. At the number 2 spot, I have profound pondering. Main things he's going for is staying present, staying authentic, having a good mindset, and validating yourself by doing your best. If you do your best, you simply can't tell yourself you didn't try. I mean, a lot of young men my age, 19, 20, anybody watching this, I mean, we're a confused bunch, we're a lonely, isolated bunch, right? But if you just have confidence in yourself and you can validate yourself and you can do your best, you can do your actual true best, you're gonna be just fine. You're gonna survive the winter, and you're gonna have a little bit of hibernation food left over, if you catch my analogy drift, right? Also, just a channel I see myself returning to a lot. So yeah, he's number 2. And number 1, Doberman Honcho. I might be biased. I've listened to this guy since February. He's sort of the first archetype of these types of YouTube videos that got me interested in these types of YouTube videos, where it's just people posting in the void, completely authentic, talking about their life, talking about their struggles, really based off of the growth of the male loneliness epidemic. I mean, people got to get their thoughts out there somehow. I wrote down, most importantly, he thinks in archetypes and he has compassion and empathy. That story about his boss, how he could have gotten his boss fired. He had every chance to. The boss did him wrong. He made him a scapegoat, but he didn't take the chance to act on firing him because he simply had empathy for his boss who treated him like shit. That's a powerful lesson. I don't think people really understand how powerful of a lesson that is, because these are real people. This is real, authentic stories. This isn't like a script where we have an archetype of a hero character. We have like real people who are authentically posting into the void about their experiences, and this was his experience. He saw this man with compassion and empathy, even though he was technically an archetype of an enemy in his world. Also, he thinks in archetypes, which is something I think is very valuable. If you want to be a leader, if you want to be somebody who leads their own life, if you want to be somebody who truly has wisdom, I believe thinking in archetypes is probably one of the most influential ways of going about it. If you just relate your situation currently and wherever you are in life to a certain story or archetype, where you have characters that you admire, and you try and act like the most admirable archetype that you can be in every possible scenario, most likely you're going to present yourself with good character and good intention. So that's my ranking. Thank you for watching this insane little video. This recording has gone for 2 hours and 13 minutes. What we do for fun here on Thursday nights, right? Oh my gosh. I want to give a quick thank you again to Seth Hughes, Doberman Honcho, Fanny Pack, Zachary Dean, Profound Pondering, Avalon Alisi, the Paul Tua Podcast, Aiden Leon, Justin Shears, Francis, Mosey, and Caleb Park. Hopefully people can check you out. I'm grateful you guys posted your videos. I'm grateful you guys exist. Your voices were heard. Your voices were ranked. Thank you for watching. I will see y'all.